Greetings, everyone. I'm Lucky Tremendous, and welcome back to another episode of Lucky Talks Motion Pictures. Today, after last time, where we discussed The Hitman's Bodyguard, we're going to go back into the past and yet into the future with the 1993 action film starring Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, and Sandra Bullock, Demolition Man. Sorry, glare is in the way. There it is. This film's made 26 years ago in 1993, to about mixed to average results. It's a very puzzling film. No one really knows whether to make it a good film or a bad film or an otherwise weird film in all of its many weirdness, but I suppose that'll be up for you guys to decide when you or if you ever attempt to go watch this film. But in the meantime, you pretty much want to see me talk about it, right? Figured you would. So, without further ado, my friends, let's get into 1993's Demolition Man. In 1996, so the future by this movie's standards, a psychopathic career criminal named Simon Phoenix kidnaps a number of hostages and takes refuge with his gang in an abandoned building. LAPD Sergeant John Spartan uses a thermal scan of the building, finding no traces of the hostages. He leads an unauthorized assault to capture Phoenix. Phoenix sets off a series of explosives that demolish the building, and the hostages' corpses are found in the rubble. Phoenix claims that Spartan knew about the hostages and attacked anyway. Both men are then incarcerated in the city's new California cryopenitentiary, where they are cryogenically frozen and exposed to subliminal rehabilitation techniques. Okay, so you're telling me the police listened to the psychopathic career criminal, played by Wesley Snipes, against the word of Sergeant John Spartan, one of your best men, while reckless, did kidnap this guy. Now, I know it looks like the evidence are stacked against him, but you didn't even hear Spartan out. You didn't even hear him defend himself. Just one of many things I have to say about this movie. The movie then picks up in 2032, where Phoenix is thawed for parole hearing, but he escapes. Lieutenant Leanna Huxley has Spartan thawed to help stop Phoenix. She explains to Spartan that San Angeles, sliders, just kidding. It's a metropolis that combines the former Los Angeles, San Diego, and Santa Barbara, is a peaceful utopia, and the police are no longer equipped to deal with any real violent crime. Spartan finds the new future depressing and oppressive. Human behavior is tightly controlled. Physical contact, including sexual intercourse and swearing, are now illegal, and anything else deemed bad is also banned, such as porn and smoking, and alcohol, and fats. Oh my god. Yes, likewise, others on the police force find Spartan's behavior brutish and uncivilized, while I just find it very hilarious. There's three things I'd like to mention while we're at this part of the movie. One, the joke about the three seashells will always be funny, and no one really knows what the hell it is. Not even the people that made this movie even know what the heck the three seashells do. What? Two, I'm trying to recall, but yes, this future is one of the worst futures I've seen in any film out of the hundreds I've seen. This future is very depressing indeed. I'm definitely with Stallone here on this one, who is one of the best characters in the movie. I mean, if I mean, I can't even fathom it. How far could this society have fallen to allow themselves to basically give up everything that made them unique and an individual? I mean, it just seems so soul-crushingly unwatchable. I can't really explain it. You'll have to watch it for yourself. But there is that funny scene in the film where Sylvester Stallone swears constantly and gets like 10 citations in a row. It was actually one of the only parts of this movie that I actually smiled at. Continuing on, though, Spartan anticipates that Phoenix will attempt to secure firearms, and he and Huxley head to a museum and find Phoenix already there. Phoenix escapes with the weapons and encounters Dr. Raymond, the evangelist pacifist who has been running San Angeles since the Great Earthquake of 2010. So they predicted the Great Earthquake of Japan around that time. Weird. To his confusion, though, Phoenix finds that he is unable to shoot Raymond, who reveals that he had orchestrated Phoenix's escape all along. As a safety measure, Raymond implanted a command that prevents Phoenix from killing him. Raymond wants Phoenix to assassinate Edgar Friendly, the leader of a resistance group called the Scraps that resist his rule entirely and want things to go back to the way they were. Spartan and Huxley, who have started to develop a relationship, ah, boy. They witness this exchange on security cameras and review the crowd prison records. To their shock, they find that Phoenix's rehabilitation program has been replaced with combat training programs and the information necessary for his escape. Spartan meets with the Scraps in time to ward off an attack by Phoenix and other criminals who have been thawed out of cryosleep to help assassinate Friendly and the Scraps. It should be noted in this nearing the third act of the movie that Taco Bell is the only fast food restaurant still standing. Apparently, McDonald's and Burger King went bankrupt. Burger King I can believe, but McDonald's? Wow. Phoenix taunts Spartan, revealing that he had killed the 1996 hostages before even setting off the bomb, meaning Spartan had spent 3.5 decades in prison for no reason, missing the death and disappearance of his wife and daughter. Phoenix escapes, and Spartan arms himself with help from the Scraps. Phoenix returns to Dr. C. Let's call him Dr. Raymond, Dr. C. It really doesn't matter. With his men, and has one of his men kill him, since he cannot. Yeah, you didn't really think this through, did you? They then return to the prison and begin to thaw out more criminals from cryosleep. Spartan enters the prison alone to fight Phoenix, heavily damaging the facility in the process. He uses the cryogenic chemicals to freeze and kill Phoenix as his frozen body falls to the ground and shatters into 1,000,000,000,000 pieces all over the place. Spartan escapes the prison as it explodes, but just barely. The police fear that with the loss of Dr. Raymond and the cryo prison, it will be the end of society as they know it. But Spartan happily suggests that they and the Scraps work together to combine the best aspects of order and personal freedom and make a better future like this. He then kisses Huxley, and the two go off into the unknown together, even though she's still uncomfortable with physical contact. Yeah, it's definitely the future, alright. Demolition Man is, like I said, very mixed to average. The performances of Stallone, Bullock, and Snipes are really amazing, but it just seems like this film is very confused on what it wants to be. Does it want to be a satire about the socialization of our society, or does it want to be an action film with nonstop explosions and gunfire and death? It really does not know what it wants to be. Oh my god. Not to mention, though, Stallone and Snipes were not the first people chosen for this movie. Originally, Jean-Claude Van Damme was supposed to play John Spartan, but he turned down the role. Likewise, the role of Wesley Snipes was going to go to Jackie Chan, but Jackie Chan said no because he hates playing villains, which I can actually definitely say is true. I've actually hardly seen anything of Jackie Chan, specifically wanting to be a villain. It should also be said, though, we do have some cameos from actors who would later go on to be great actors in the modern world. Jack Black and Rob Schneider are in this movie, but one of them goes uncredited, and Jack Black is actually barely noticeable. I actually forgot that he was in this movie. It should also be said there's a lot of product placement in this movie, like General Motors, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell. Oh my god. And an amazingly funny joke is that Arnold Schwarzenegger becomes president. I mean, this film predicted him becoming governor. He did not become governor for another 10 years, which is actually pretty amazing. The things that these future movies can predict. It's actually quite funny, but this film was also not without controversy despite its lukewarm reviews and weirdly, slightly odd money-making things. It was involved in two controversies. The first one being that the film was actually accused of plagiarizing the idea from somewhere else. That the idea was taken from a novel called Fight of the Dead, and basically that Hollywood plagiarized this and many other works of Eastern European writers after the 80s and 90s, and that they were illegally selling these ideas to filmmakers. So yeah, the film was partially plagiarized and has been so for over 25 years. The other one is that Sylvester Stallone's loan out company filed a lawsuit against Warner Brothers because he was not paid properly enough for the film, which I can actually agree with. I hate it when film people do not pay their actors well. Such a shame. It should also be really funny, though, that 1 year as of this film's creation, to celebrate this film's 25th anniversary, Taco Bell actually recreated this movie's version of the Taco Bell restaurant at San Diego Comic-Con 2018. So yeah, maybe this film was good for something. All in all, Demolition Man is a very odd film, and watch at your own risk. There's a good chance you might not like it. Well, not all of it. You might like some of it, but that's up to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching me talk about Demolition Man, 1990, R-rated, starring Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more movie and television reviews. And as always, I'm Lucky Tremendous, and I will see you guys in the very next video. Peace.